here's the business news on Wave FM 91.7 Port Harcourt. I am Excel Uwaezuoke. Local refiners under the umbrella of the Crude Oil Refinery Owners Association of Nigeria, CORAN, have raised concerns over the diversion of crude oil allocated for domestic refining. They warned that inconsistent deliveries are undermining plant utilization, financing Nigeria's energy security. The CORAN Board of Trustees Chairman Emmanuel Ihanacho stated this during a court service to the Chief Executive of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Excel Uwaezuoke. Ihanacho said the gap between crude allocation and actual delivery continues to weaken local refining efforts despite policy provisions designed to prioritize domestic supply. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has disclosed key federal government interventions aimed at reducing the financial pressure on airlines following the rising concerns over the cost of Jet A1 fuel and the threat of service disruptions in the aviation sector. The minister made the disclosure after hours of meeting with a delegation from the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources, airline operators, and oil marketers, among other stakeholders. The meeting was convened in response to the sharp increase in aviation fuel prices, which operators say has become unsustainable. Keyamo stated that President Bola Tinubu has approved a generous discount on certain outstanding fees owed to the federal government by airline operators. The federal government plans to raise 700 billion naira from the domestic bond market in April 2026, extending a gradual reduction in offer size as it continues to navigate elevated borrowing costs. Details from the April 2026 Federal Government of Nigeria Bond Offer Circular issued by the Debt Management Office show that the auction is scheduled for April 27, with settlement on April 29. The issuance will be executed through the reopening of existing instruments across 3 maturities, a strategy aimed at improving liquidity in benchmark securities. The circular indicated that the offer comprises 300 billion naira of the 17.945% FG August 2030 bond, 100 billion naira of the 17.95% FG June 2032 bond, and 300 billion naira of the 22.60% FG January 2035 bond. And the Farrington factory workers in one of China's largest manufacturing hubs says worsening economic conditions are making it increasingly difficult to survive as global tensions and structural shifts in the country's economy weighs on jobs and income. In interviews conducted in Backstreet job market, several workers described long hours, low wages, and limited opportunities, with many struggling to earn enough to support families back home. Some expressed frustration over their living conditions, saying their daily realities are largely misunderstood. Meanwhile, tariffs introduced during the presidency of Donald Trump disrupted trade flows, although China maintained resilience by increasing exports and recording about 5% GDP growth. On the foreign exchange market, one US dollar traded for 1,430 naira at the parallel market, while the British pound selling for 1,920 naira. Meanwhile, 1 euro traded 1,603 naira at the same platform. Moving on to the crude oil market, a barrel of Brent crude similar to Nigeria's vanilla traded for $102.83, an increase of 92 cents or 0.9%. Similarly, the West Texas Intermediate sold for $94.05, an increase of 10 cents on appreciation of 0.1%. And that business report on Daybreak Nigeria this morning, compiled by Ayo Odungweru. You can also listen to us at wavefm917.com. For pictures and stories in the news, follow us on Facebook and Dex at 917 WaveFM and at Wave917FM on Instagram and Threads. Remember, Nigeria is our only country. We should join hands to make it great. I am Excel Uwaezuoke. Good morning and thank you for listening.